Hello and welcome to Crypto News. Today is June 21st, 2026, and here are the top cryptocurrency news stories. We'll start today's episode with US Treasury Secretary Scott, who reminds us that the US wants to be here for cryptocurrencies. Specifically, he said that they want to be the best regulator for digital assets and creativity in order to foster innovation in their market. He also reiterated the US's goal of a strategic reserve in Bitcoin, which we haven't heard anything about since we first heard about it. Now let's say that yes, Mr. Scott says that the US wants to be here for crypto, but because Coinbase said it won't support Clarity, which is a very important bill for the US because it would define crypto in the US and allow more investors to come in, the White House is probably trying to kill Clarity. That's why big names in the crypto market are arguing with each other, like Mr. Charles Hoskinson, who basically said that Mr. Brad, the CEO of Ripple, was wrong. Mr. Brad from Ripple said that we should support the Clarity bill even though it's not perfect, as he knows, but since it's out, something has to be passed. Charles says that's not right, and that's not what they've been fighting for so long. Let's just say that Coinbase itself doesn't seem to have given up though, as Coinbase's CEO is in Davos, Sweden, with the agenda of reviving the cryptocurrency market structure bill that the company had rejected a few days ago. So not all is dead for this particular bill, and not all is dead for cryptocurrencies in the US, because this is an incredibly important bill that needs to pass, and of course it needs to be crypto friendly. Now, for our companies, we'll go to Strategy, which bought 22,305 BTC for $2.1 billion and now holds over 700,000 BTC, while Bitmint follows suit and bought $108 million in Ethereum. Now, for our cryptocurrencies, we're going to go to Chainlink, which is doing what the institutions want, as Chainlink is launching on-chain data feeds 24/5, tokenized for US investors and ETFs. Let's say Chainlink, as you know, is an oracle, and what the institutions want is to have as many open trades as possible, so that's something that Chainlink is slowly delivering. While Redstone, another cryptocurrency oracle, is also expanding, we learned that it has acquired Security Token Market and tokenized this, adding a large amount of tokenization data to its platform. According to an announcement, the acquisition brings STM's historical data, covering more than 800 tokenized products across equities, real estate, debt, and capital structures under Redstone's ownership, along with control of the tokenized This Conference brand. So from Redstone, we'll go to our mem coins and go to PAMP Fund, which is launching the PAMP Fund. Let's say that the well-known platform for launching a mem coin has introduced us to the PAMP Fund, along with a $3 million hackathon that will fund 12 projects with $250,000 each, at a valuation of $10 million. He also added that the PAMP Fund, which is the investment arm of PAMP Fund, he added that the investment arm will be aligned with long-term projects, which do not have to be related to cryptocurrencies, and that it will provide guidance from the founders of Pump Fund. So those were the new plans of PAMP Fund, and let me tell you, at this point, be very careful, because as of 2021, 13.4 million cryptocurrencies have died, with 11.6 million of them dying by 2025. And of course, most of these are memecoins that come from well-known platforms. So be very careful with memecoins. There is no easy way to make money. Now, moving on to our favorite cryptocurrency market, let me tell you that Bitcoin is at $89,000, with the price dropping as low as $88,000. And the reason for this drop is the tariffs that the US has imposed to pressure the Europeans to agree on Greenland, and Trump's new general threats to impose a 200% tariff on French wine to pressure France specifically. And let's say that all this turmoil that's happening on this issue has also affected Japanese bonds, which have seen a shocking increase in their yields. Now let's say that the yield on the 30-year Japanese bond has increased by 31 basis points to 3.91%. And what's going on here? Higher JGB yields raise the opportunity cost of financing carry trades and overseas investments, which for decades relied on Japan as the cheapest source of capital in the world. As yields rise, capital is drawn back into the domestic market, draining liquidity from global markets almost by default. So as we've said before, because Japan had very low interest rates, everyone borrowed a lot of money there, and now that everything is going up again in Japan, everyone is taking money out of the markets, and a lot of risky markets like the cryptocurrency market is still considered to pay off the loans they took out before yields rose. So this happened, and the Japanese market is shaking again because we have a lot of tariffs from Mr. Trump, and for this reason, Bitcoin fell sharply. That wraps up the top news for crypto today, June 21st, 2026. I'd like to remind you that the content you just watched is created for educational purposes only and should not be considered as investment advice, but rather as investment opinion. Please subscribe to the channel, leave a like, and feel free to comment. Take care, everyone, and have a good day.